Hi there and welcome. My name is Rebecca Weaver. I'm going to be solving rational equation applications today. So let's look at the job application. Now, suppose that Becky can paint a room in 10 hours. She works at a steady pace, and in 1 hour she could paint 1/10 of the room. If Alicia would take 8 hours to paint the same room, then in 1 hour she would paint 1/8 of the room. How long would it take Becky and Alicia to paint the room if they worked together? Well, let's look at what we have. In 1 hour, Becky did 1/10 of the job, and in 1 hour, Alicia did 1/8 of the job. Together, they'll do 1/10 of the job. Let's put this together. This is a common thing that you might see in distances and motion problems and painting and mechanic problems, any kind of job that you're going to do. This is the setup on this. It's going to be 1 over 10 plus 1 over 8 equals 1 over t. We're going to do our solving rational equations like we have been doing. I'm going to multiply both sides by 40t. That's the least common denominator. If you saw 80t, it's okay. That'll work too. Let's be sure to note that we're going to do both sides and distribute. When we do that, multiply that 40t times that 1 over 10, I'll get 4t. Multiplying 40t times 1 over 8, I get 5t. And multiplying on the right-hand side, the 1 over t times the 40t, I get 40. This is really pretty. This is 9t equals 40. Nice. Divide both sides by 9, I get t equals 40 over 9 hours. Now I could say that this is 4 and 9 hours, and I can say that's the answer. If you want to know what this is in minutes because you really want to know, what you would do is say 4 hours and 4/9 times 60 to get it into minutes. And that would be 4 hours and 27 minutes for those of you that were really excited about this problem. Now, we're going to look at these varies directly and varies inversely type problems. Now, these are always two problems in one, always. First find k, then find what they're looking for, always. When you see varies directly, it means multiply. So that's what we're going to do. Let's look at one and see what we have to do for these. Suppose P varies directly with Q and that P is 40 when Q is 8. What's the value of P when Q is 11? Well, first thing you do is you write down P equals. Then it says varies directly with Q. So what I'm going to do is say this means multiply. I'll just say K times Q. I always use K. You can use a different letter if you want, but most of the time people use a K. Now we're going to find K. So we know that when P is 40, Q is 8. Let's plug that in. Hey, divide both sides by 8. K is 5. That's the first part done. Now, the second part. Write the equation. We now know what K is. That's our constant. So P equals 5 times Q. Now, we just plug in 11 for Q. Bam. P equals 5 times 11. Bam. P equals 55. Circle it. We're done with that one. Varies inversely. These are still two problems in one. First find K, then find what they're looking for. Varies inversely. That means divide. So if we have a problem, suppose P varies inversely with Q and that P equals 4 when Q is 8. What's the value of P when Q is 2? There's two problems in one. First I write down, it says P varies, so I write down P equals. It says inversely. That means K over Q. So that means the Q we're dividing with the Q. So now let's plug in our numbers. P's -4, Q's 8. Hey, multiply both sides by 8. K is -32. So now we write down our equation. P equals -32 over Q. Just plug in the 2 for Q. P is -16. Circle it. Let's do one more. All right, let's mix it up and make this one really long. No matter what, even if they're long, there's still two problems in one. First, you have to find K, then you find what you're looking for. So here we go. Suppose V varies directly with X and inversely with the square of Y. Well, as soon as they said Z varies, I write Z equals. And then directly with X, that means multiply, K times X. Inversely, write that division sign with the square of Y, so write it over Y squared. Now they say if z is 36 when x is 3 and y is 2, just plug all of that in because I got to find k. 36 equals k times 3 over 2 squared. That's going to be 36 equals 3k over 4. Multiply both sides by 4/3. K is then 48. So let's write down our equation. Z equals 48 over y squared. All right, so this is our equation. Now we have to find the value of z when x is 5 and y is 4. So plugging in x is 5 and y is 4, I get z equals 48 times 5 over 4 squared. Crunch in those numbers, I get z is 15, and I'm done. All right, if you need any help, be sure and email me, rweaver10@alaska.edu, and have a wonderful day. Bye now.